Yo, Demeter, I thought you were gonna play with my frog.
Your frog ain't jumping in my direction. There's a new tadpole in town.
Look, man, it's Willie Nelson.
Not Willie Nelson, stupid. Colonel Sanders.
Hey!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, my brother, can I help you?
Yeah, man, this is where the party at?
Bobby, you're right. Your mother is beautiful.
Out.
I told you pretty clearly the last time. I don't know nothing about any murder.
I love this, man. It was just a great audition. You know, we did a lot of class act over here, too, man. Look at this. This is New York Street. So it's time for your brother to get to work, man. He's still on my grind, man. I ain't going nowhere.
What if I told you that one of the most memorable villains in 90s comedy delivered what might be the funniest line about amphibians ever captured on film? And what if that same actor went on to appear in some of television's biggest hits, yet somehow remains Hollywood's best-kept secret? This isn't just about an actor who played a thug named Wedge. This is about a man who turned bit parts into comedy gold and survived more slaps than a Three Stooges routine. February 1955. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. A future scene stealer was born into a world that had no idea what was coming. Lamont Johnson entered this world during the height of the civil rights movement in a city that would shape his street-smart sensibilities and natural comedic timing.
Damn!
Growing up in Philadelphia's tough neighborhoods, Johnson learned early that humor could be a survival mechanism. But the streets of Philly were just the beginning. In 1983, at age 28, Lamont Johnson made the decision that would change everything. He packed his bags and headed west to Hollywood, joining the thousands of hopefuls who believed they had what it took to make it in show business. For 9 years, he ground it out, taking whatever roles came his way, building his craft one small part at a time. Then, 1992 arrived, and with it, a film that would transform an unknown character actor into a cult legend. Class Act wasn't supposed to be groundbreaking cinema. It was Kid and Play's third film, following their successful House Party franchise. The plot was simple enough. A street-smart ex-con and a genius student accidentally switch identities due to a clerical error.
Man, where my money at, man?
I ain't got, man.
Where my money at, you
Come on, man.
bitch? Give it up, man. What's
Well, yeah,
up?
I'll give you this, though, back.
What nobody expected was how a supporting character named Wedge would steal scenes from the lead actors. Johnson was cast as muscle for drug dealer Mink, played by Thomas McCall Ford.
Don't think I'm paying for this. You paying me back, all right? Let's get the hell out of here. Damn, you look like a slab of meat and Rocky.
Ford was already making waves in Hollywood, having appeared in Harlem Nights alongside Eddie Murphy, and soon to become a household name as Tommy on the hit sitcom Martin.
He was a man. A ham sandwich eating man.
The two actors created an unlikely comedy duo that would define one of the film's most memorable sequences. In the world of Class Act, Wedge was supposed to be intimidating. He was the enforcer, the guy who collected debts and kept people in line. But Johnson had other plans for this character. Instead of playing Wedge as a one-dimensional tough guy, he infused him with an almost childlike confusion that made him simultaneously threatening and endearing.
I'm getting tired of your high yellow raggedy roster ass. Let's get it on now.
The magic began during the early school scenes. When Wedge first appears on screen, demanding money from Popsicle over some unpaid drug debt, Johnson plays the moment with just enough menace to establish the character's danger. But there's something else there, a hint of the bumbling fool that would emerge later. The real genius happened during the biology class scene. As Alicia Rogers' character, Demeter, tries to brush off Wedge's increasingly desperate advances, he calls out with genuine heartbreak, "Demeter, I thought you were gonna play with my frog."
Yo, Demeter, I thought you were gonna play with my frog.
Her response became the stuff of 90s comedy legend. "Your frog ain't jumping in my direction." But here's what made this exchange pure gold. Johnson delivered Wedge's line with such pathetic desperation that it transformed a potential predator into a lovable loser. The way he emphasized "my frog" with wounded pride, as if his amphibian's athletic abilities were directly tied to his masculinity, created a moment that audiences couldn't stop quoting.
Your frog ain't jumping in my direction. There's a new tadpole in town.
However, the crown jewel of Johnson's performance came during the film's climactic wax museum chase sequence. This wasn't just any chase scene. It was a masterclass in physical comedy that showcased the relationship between Wedge and his boss, Mink, in ways that dialogue never could.
Shut up! I'm gonna go around that way, and I want you to go this way, okay? Now I'm going with you. Hey, what's that? Go that way.
The sequence begins when the protagonists flee to Demita's workplace, a wax museum filled with historical figures and celebrities. What followed was pure comedic chaos that critic Janet Maslin of the New York Times described as becoming too crowded, but missing the point entirely. The chaos was the point.
Stupid tunnel. But ain't no rats up in here.
As Wedge and Mink pursued Kid and Play through the museum, Johnson and Ford created what can only be described as a live-action cartoon. Wedge spots a wax figure and exclaims with absolute confidence, "Look, man, it's Willie Nelson."
What? Look, man, it's Willie Nelson.
Thomas McCall Ford's response as Mink was swift and brutal. He delivered a trademark slap to Wedge's head while correcting him. "That's not Willie Nelson, stupid. It's Colonel Sanders."
Not Willie Nelson, stupid. Colonel Sanders.
But this wasn't just slapstick for the sake of slapstick. Ford's character had been established throughout the film as the brains of the operation, while Johnson's Wedge was the muscle with questionable intelligence. The slap became a returning gag that defined their relationship. Mink's frustrated attempts to educate his dim-witted employee.
Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, my brother. Thank you, man. Oh, Lord. My brother. Stop whining, you silly bitch. Okay.
Throughout the chase, Johnson took slap after slap from Ford, each one delivered with increasing exasperation.
Damn! Quiet, you
The beauty was in Johnson's reactions. He never played Wedge as truly hurt or angry. Instead, each slap seemed to reset his brain, leaving him momentarily confused before returning to his mission with renewed, misguided enthusiasm.
Watch for fire. But Mink, get the door open, stupid.
The Wax Museum sequence also revealed the depth of Johnson's physical comedy skills. As the chase weaved between figures of Wild Bill Hickok, historical leaders, and pop culture icons, Johnson navigated the space with the grace of a natural performer. He understood that comedy often comes from commitment to the reality of an absurd situation. Ford, who had honed his comedic timing working with Eddie Murphy in Harlem Nights,
Yeah, we're open. We just wanted a change of atmosphere, and I'm sure you understand that, Mr. Quick.
brought his own brand of frustrated authority to Mink. Born on September 5, 1964, in Los Angeles, Ford was 3 years younger than Johnson, but had already established himself as a serious comedic actor. He would soon become Tommy Strawn on Martin, one of television's most beloved sitcom characters.
Love your work, brother. I mean, I love it. You just changed that whole rap thing, man. Can't touch this.
The dynamic between Ford and Johnson in the class act foreshadowed Ford's later success. His ability to play the exasperated straight man to Johnson's bumbling comic relief demonstrated the range that would make him perfect for Martin Lawrence's ensemble cast. But the Wax Museum wasn't just about the slaps and mistaken identities. It was where Johnson's Wedge finally met his match. When Duncan, Kid, finally stands up to the bully who has been tormenting him, it's Wedge who gets knocked out, not by the street-smart Blade, but by the nerdy genius who found his courage. Johnson played this defeat with surprising dignity, even as Ford's Mink watched his muscle get dropped by a high school student. The moment represented the end of their partnership in the film, but the beginning of something larger for both actors.
Check this out, Blade. You stay out of my way. You dig? You dig? I dug. Sit!
Ford would go on to become a television icon through Martin, using the same exasperated energy he brought to Mink, but now as the lovable Tommy Strawn. Johnson, meanwhile, took a different path, one that would prove his versatility extended far beyond playing the bumbling heavy to Ford's frustrated boss. Alicia Rogers brought a fiery independence to Demita that made her rejection of Wedge both funny and empowering. Their dynamic represented a classic trope, the undesirable suitor pursuing the unattainable woman, but Johnson played it without malice. Rogers, who had previously appeared in Boys in the Hood,
You know how they be trying to act like they brothers and shit? Girl, he is fine. I like to rush. that? He go to Wall Street too? He go to Crenshaw.
Brought street credibility to her role. Her chemistry with both kid and play and the supporting cast helped elevate Class Act above its modest budget and simple premise. When she delivered that iconic frog line, she wasn't just rejecting Wedge, she was establishing herself as a character who wouldn't be intimidated.
Yo, Demeter, I thought you were gonna play with my frog.
Your frog ain't jumping in my direction. There's a new tadpole in town.
The recurring theme of amphibians became a running joke throughout the film. Later, Demeter would declare, "There's a new tadpole in town," suggesting that Duncan had evolved from his former nerdy self into someone worth her attention. The biological metaphor of transformation perfectly matched the film's Prince and Pauper premise. What happened next in Johnson's career proved that Class Act was just the beginning. In 1993, he landed a guest spot on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, appearing as Guy at Party in one episode. While the role was small, it placed him in the orbit of one of television's hottest shows during its peak years.
We don't want that kind of trouble. Guess we'll just go home and watch some TV.
Sounds like a good idea, my brother.
The Fresh Prince connection opened doors that Johnson might never have accessed otherwise. Will Smith's star power was pulling in massive audiences every week, and being part of that universe, even briefly, gave Johnson credibility in the television world. From there, Johnson's career took off an unexpected direction. His appearance on ER during the medical drama's groundbreaking early seasons wasn't just another acting job, it was validation. ER was revolutionizing television with its realistic portrayal of emergency medicine and ensemble cast approach. Getting cast on ER meant joining television royalty.
No, I'm not making any snap judgments.
Got something for you.
You didn't?
What's this red bump?
The show's creator, Michael Crichton, and executive producer Steven Spielberg had created something unprecedented in television drama. For Johnson to earn a role in this environment demonstrated his versatility as a performer. He wasn't just the comic relief from Class Act anymore. He was a legitimate character actor capable of handling serious material. Then came All of Us, the UPN sitcom that ran from 2003 to 2007. Created by Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, the show dealt with blended families and modern relationships with humor and heart. Johnson's involvement with the series wasn't just another guest appearance, it was proof that he could handle ongoing television work.
Hello, and welcome to Steven's birthday party! Are you ready to be official guardian of the galaxy?
Working on All of Us also meant working in the Will Smith universe again, this time in a more substantial capacity. The show tackled contemporary issues facing African American families while maintaining the light touch that made it accessible to broad audiences. But it was his work on CSI Miami that really demonstrated Johnson's range.
I'm on a breakneck schedule here. I've only got 7 months to put this tower up.
What exactly are you building?
New headquarters for Amanda's Orchards.
The show was known for its serious tone and procedural format, a far cry from the comedic chaos of Class Act or the family dynamics of All of Us. Yet Johnson seamlessly transitioned between comedy and drama, proving he wasn't just a one-note performer. CSI Miami, with its distinctive visual style and David Caruso's iconic one-liners, was appointed television during its decade-long run. The show's success spawned multiple spin-offs and established the CSI franchise as a television powerhouse. Johnson's ability to fit into this world demonstrated his adaptability as an actor. Throughout his television career, Johnson appeared in major films alongside A-list stars, always in supporting roles, but always memorable. In Jerry Maguire, he shared screen time with Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr. during the height of their box office power.
Man, I'm just a big disappointment.
Look at this.
In Waiting to Exhale, he worked with Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, and an ensemble of powerhouse performers during a cultural moment that redefined African American cinema.
Honey, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I saw her just the other night at the Circle K, and she was a mess.
Each role might have been small, but Johnson understood something that many actors never grasp. There are no small parts, only small actors. Whether he was playing a confused thug in a wax museum or a background character in a major motion picture, he brought the same commitment and unexpected humanity to every role. His appearances on shows like Family Matters,
Bobby Pritchard, but my friends call me Bone Crusher.
Sister Sister,
Mama, how you doing? Sit down, Snaggertooth.
Home Improvement, and Charmed
What do I get out of it?
You get to live.
showcased his ability to adapt to different comedic and dramatic styles. Each show had its own tone and audience, yet Johnson found ways to make each character memorable within their respective universes. What's remarkable about Johnson's career trajectory is how he consistently elevated material that could have been throwaway. He possessed an innate understanding of how to find the humanity in even the most cartoonish characters. Wedge could have been a generic bully, but Johnson made him sympathetic. His television characters could have been forgettable, but he gave each one enough personality to stick in viewers' minds. The class act legacy lived on in ways Johnson probably never expected. The film became a cult classic on home video, with fans discovering and rediscovering it through cable television and later streaming platforms. Social media turned "Your frog ain't jumping in my direction" into a meme, introducing Johnson's comedy to new generations who had no context for early 90s hip-hop cinema. The film's reputation grew over time, helped by the nostalgia factor and appreciation for its innocent approach to comedy. In an era when hip-hop films were becoming increasingly violent and controversial, Class Act represented a more optimistic view of urban youth culture.
I look stupid to you.
Is that a trick question?
Thomas Michael Ford's tragic death in 2016 from a ruptured abdominal aneurysm brought renewed attention to Class Act and the ensemble cast that made it memorable. Ford had gone on to become a beloved television icon through Martin and his other projects. But fans remembered his chemistry with Johnson during those slap-heavy wax museum scenes. The loss of Ford highlighted something important about ensemble acting: the magic that happens when performers find unexpected chemistry. Johnson and Ford created something special together in Class Act, a comedic partnership that existed for only a few scenes but left a lasting impression. While exact figures remain private, industry estimates suggest Johnson's net worth likely ranges in the mid-six figures, reflecting a career built on steady work rather than blockbuster stardom. His decades-long persistence in Hollywood, appearing in everything from major studio films to network television shows, represents the kind of sustainable acting career that many performers dream of achieving. From the streets of Philadelphia to the sound stages of Hollywood, Johnson carved out a unique space in entertainment history. He became the ultimate character actor, someone who could disappear into a role so completely that audiences forgot they were watching a performance, yet memorable enough that those performances stuck with viewers long after the credits rolled. The boy from Philadelphia who started acting in 1983 never became a household name like some of his Class Act co-stars, but he became something perhaps more valuable: a working actor who could make any script better, any scene funnier, any project more memorable simply by showing up and committing fully to whatever role he was given. And sometimes when you're watching late-night reruns of 90s television or stumbling across Class Act on a streaming service, you'll see Lamont Johnson pop up and remember, this is what real acting looks like. No ego, no grandstanding, just pure commitment to the craft and an understanding that every character, no matter how small, deserves to be fully realized. That frog may not have jumped into Mita's direction, but Lamont Johnson's career jumped from strength to strength, one unforgettable performance at a time. Through slaps and